From the high desert southwest and an indiscreet shave den located in the deep recesses of Ouch's basement, broadcasting north from McMurdo Sound to Ice Station Zebra and east and west across all time zones to our members throughout the world, this is Badger and Blade Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever on this big blue rock you call home, and welcome to the latest edition of Badger and Blade Radio. For your listening and viewing pleasure, Badger and Blade Radio is now available across multiple formats, including our YouTube page, as well as podcast versions here on badgerandblade.com, and please search for us on iTunes for the latest podcast version. News and events around badgerandblade.com this week include, have you tried that straight razor yet? Well, if not, you still have time. The straight razor pass around over in the Straight Razor Forum is still going on. It's been going on since July 8th, and so far 21 participants have taken part with 6 waiting. So now's the time to join, and we will keep that going as long as there's interest. A reminder to new members to make sure to head on over to the newbie and check-in shave-in clinic area and introduce yourself, as well as the Hall of Fame to tell us a little bit about yourself. Also, the skin, body, and hair care section is a great place to stop by for the type of shampoos you might need, as well as pomades and hair care and skin care products. So John and the boys over there can certainly help you out making those decisions. Also, do you have a wonderful beard or a wonderful handlebar mustache and are looking for the latest, greatest products to take care of that investment that you've spent so much time in? Head on over to the beard and mustache section for all the needs you may have. Also, a reminder to head on over to the B&B vendor section. There are always new products coming out from our vendors, and they have a wide selection of different items for you to choose from. Also, the Sue Moore Memorial Auction will be coming up on October 19th, and we thought it would be a good idea for those of you that would like to donate to the auction to take a look on exactly how to go about doing that. So please take a look at this, and we'll be right back. B&B members, as we get closer to the Sue Moore Memorial Auction that will take place on October 19th, B&B Radio thought it was a good idea to go ahead and do a video tutorial on exactly how to go about donating for the auction. Now, those of you folks that are listening via podcast, you can go to our YouTube page to view this video to go ahead and see the details, or once again, you can sign on to www.badgerandblade.com and follow the details there. From the main forum page, you're going to want to click on the General Shaving Discussion Forum. From there, you will see a set of stickies, and you will see in pink the Charity Auction FAQ. Go ahead and click on that. Once there, you will see the frequently asked questions, and down towards the middle, you will see a question saying, how do I donate an item for auction? You will see a hyperlink there, and this will take you to the donation form. Once on that donation form, you will need to fill in your full address, complete description of the items that you are putting up in the auction, as well as an auction description, meaning what the items are, and try to be as detailed as possible, and you will get a chance to include pictures. We do suggest that you take a high-resolution picture. That way, that'll give the most impact for the bidders during the auction. Any additional notes would be if you have the item on hand, whether it will be drop shipped, and any other items such as shipping outside the United States if you plan to do so, or if it will be continental U.S. only. This will allow the auctioneer to go ahead and post these lots and make sure that it is in the right location. Now, you will retain the items that you are putting up for an auction until after the auction is over. You will be communicated to with the name and address of the winning bid for you to ship. If you have any other questions, please contact the auctioneer or post a question on the auction FAQ. And that's it, and we appreciate you watching. We certainly hope that you enjoyed that video tutorial on how to donate to the Sue Moore Memorial Auction. And we also do encourage that if you do have some items and you would like to help out the National Breast Cancer Foundation, please go ahead and donate those items via the instructions on that last video. It is the single largest one-day event on the calendar for Badger and Blade each and every year. And once again, all proceeds go to benefit the National Breast Cancer Foundation in memory of Sue Moore, one of our longest-term members and a vendor here on badgerandblade.com. badgerandblade.com. Also, for you new members or for those members that are still learning how to navigate such a large site as badgerandblade.com, please remember that in our video library we do have tutorials on various different subjects on how to navigate and make your stay here on badgerandblade.com more enjoyable. After the break, we'll be back with our exclusive interview with one of the forum stewards for the Brownleaf, Price. We'll be right back.
Listen, Buster, man to man.
Yeah?
You smoke a Roy-Tan cigar?
Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan. Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan cigar. Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan. For a taste that is better by far.
Roy-Tan offers you a wide choice of shapes and sizes to suit your taste. Whichever you choose, you'll enjoy the fine-tasting tobaccos that Roy-Tan is famous for.
Come on now, bring it up, boys. Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan. Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan cigar. Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan. For a taste that is better by far.
Man to man, smoke a Roy-Tan from the American Tobacco Company.
Oh, another Condor smoker, I see. Oh, Condor mild. Same old Condor, such a mild green sort of thing. Oh, well, welcome aboard, old boy. Yes, I vividly remember my first pipe full of Condor. We were just rounding the Cape. Bit of a typhoon going up. The captain turned to me and said, "What time
Nothing
is it?"
should disturb that Condor moment.
Badger and Blade Radio is very excited to do our next Forum Spotlight and Steward Spotlight with Price, one of the two stewards, including Professor Moriarty, from the Brownleaf. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. I am very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
We certainly appreciate you taking your time on a Sunday morning to do this wonderful little interview. And as we get started, how long have you been a member of Badger and Blade, and how long have you smoked a pipe?
Well, I was a lurker for a while. I started. I had this random idea to start straight razor shaving, so I, Googled it and found. I found Badger and Blade, I guess, towards the end of 2010. So I lurked for a little while. I joined in February of 2011. I was a straight razor shaver for a while, though I've kind of moved on since then. Pipe smoking, I was an inveterate cigar smoker for probably, about 15 years or so. And one of the esteemed members of Badger and Blade, Jason, he did a piff like early in October, sometime in 2011. It was cigars and pipes, and so I figured, well, hey, some nice cigars. I don't know what I'm going to do with the pipes, but I'll put my. So then I didn't win the piff, but about 3 weeks later, I suddenly realized I had 4 estate pipes on my eBay watch list, and I'm surfing the net looking for tips on smoking a pipe. And so, yeah, here I am 5 years later, 50 or so pipes and probably about 50 pounds of tobacco. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks, B&B.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because B&B seems to be the gateway to rabbit holes. I was, I had been a DE shaver for years and years and years, and then of course did the normal progression, went to electrics, went to cartridges, and found B&B, a few years back, and started my modest little DE collection, and that was great. And then I happened one day to saunter into the straight razor forum, and I never thought that I was going to shave with a straight razor. Well, that's some 35 straight razors later, and Hones and all that other stuff. And then more recently, I saw that the Badger and Blade limited edition pipe for this year, and so now I'm starting down that little rabbit hole as well. So now, obviously here on Badger and Blade, we all have badges for different things. Obviously, if you're a steward, if you're a moderator, if you're an active duty or retired or veteran military member, what is the Brownleaf badge really for? Because I know it has a little bit more meaning than just the regular badges as well.
Yeah, the Brownleaf badge kind of started as a way to. Well, B&B members are all pretty generous types, and so we had down at Brownleaf, we had guys piffing tobacco and stuff, and there's some legality issues with that about, hey, are you legally able to have tobacco? So, sort of from a liability standpoint, there was a time when B&B was just going to do away with, hey, you can't piff tobacco, and there was a pretty hot issue in the mod cave, I understand, for a while. Some yeoman's work kind of put in by like Phil and Jason and Jim to kind of keep that spirit of generosity on B&B alive and kind of to let us keep doing it. So they came up with the brown leaf badge, and what it is it's you go to the donation side and I think it's like $1. It's $1 for 99 years or something. So it's just a way to verify that you are 18 years old and legally able to purchase or own tobacco. And then once you get the brown leaf badge, it opens up a sub form under the brown leaf called the stock exchange, and that's where you can trade and give away tobacco and stuff.
Well, I think that was actually a lot of forethought when you think about it, because, like you said, with tobacco and that type of substance, the last thing we need is for somebody to come in and say that we're providing tobacco to everybody on the internet.
Right.
What would you say to a new member who's looking to get into pipes, pipe tobacco, cigars, or any of those different gentlemanly pursuits?
Well, first thing I'd say is to pop into the brown leaf. Brown leaf members are B&B members in general are probably among the most generous people on earth, and the brown leaf members, I think, we're kind of a fraternal group. Everybody gets along. We're all, and probably some of the most generous members on B&B. So, it's kind of, pipe. The thing about pipe smoking, it's kind of like pipes are anachronistic. It's kind of like, I don't know, straight razors and fountain pens and all the other things on B&B. So, but it's a great way to kind of force yourself to take your time and relax and just kind of enjoy kind of being at peace. That's one of the big draws of pipe smoking. So yeah, pop into the brown leaf and ask questions. Everyone in the leaf is kind of is more than happy to be helpful, to answer questions or whatever. But hey, it's a slippery slope. So you start asking questions in there, and you're probably going to end up like me here in a couple of years. So.
Yeah, I think.
Just be careful.
I think part of the reason why people are so helpful on Badger and Blade is I think they look at themselves in the mirror and say, I'm falling down this hole, and I'm going to take as many people with me as I can. Now,
I cannot confirm or deny.
Exactly. Now, one thing I've noticed on the brown leaf, and this may just be virtue of pipe smokers and stuff like that, but it seems like, is there a small sub membership that says that you have to have facial hair to be a member of the brown leaf?
It sure seems that way. There's a thread. Hey, post a picture of you having a smoke, and it's like beard, mustache, and then me. I'm in the military, so I don't have that option right now, but beard, yeah. So it does seem like an unwritten rule in the brown leaf.
It's so funny because I had somebody ask me that the other day. It's like, do you have to have a beard? I said, no, that just seems to go with it. Now, what would you say to a member that does not smoke, that, what would you say? How would you invite them to the brown leaf, even though they may think that there's no interest there for them?
Well, hey, speaking of guys with full beards, it's a shaving forum, and there's a lot of guys with full beards on the shaving forum. So what do non-smokers do in the brown leaf? I don't know. Hey, yeah, obviously there's a lot of. If you're a smoker, it's a lot more interesting unnecessarily. But pipes themselves, pipe engineering, it's fascinating the level of the amount of work and just detail that goes into making a pipe, and a pipe is a really a nice handmade artisan pipe is a stunning piece of artwork. It's phenomenal. So if you appreciate that, then maybe there may be something for you in the brown leaf to look through that pipe of the day or the tobacquisitions threads. And hey, we're again, the brown leaf members are a pretty welcoming bunch, and we kind of have a lot of fun. So pipe smoking or no, so.
Well, great. Yeah. So I would recommend all members do it, if nothing else, to at least drop by the Brown Leaf and check out all the different threads. Now, what makes Badger and Blade special to you?
Well, hey, Badger and Blade is sort of unique on the internet. I think the membership pretty much understands that. It's the most welcoming, most non-judgmental place. I think the internet in general is a pretty combative place where people just go to kind of anonymously just be a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Badger and Blade is sort of the antithesis of that. It's the complete opposite. There's guys who are complete newbies who go in there and ask questions, and everyone just tries to be helpful with their answers and bringing guys along. And the Brown Leaf is the same thing. There's a lot of new guys that come in there. It's a very non-judgmental place. The generosity of the members is just, it's unique on the internet, and that's, the Sue Moore auction coming up next month. That's I think this is our 5th year doing it. There's no other forum on the internet that does that kind of stuff, So I think that's kind of the uniqueness of it. That's what makes B&B so great.
Well, and I also think, obviously you being active military and myself being former military, the one thing that I noticed with Badger and Blade is it truly is, to me, a brotherhood.
Sure.
There's just a camaraderie and a decorum there that, as you said, you don't find anywhere else. Now, we've been showing pictures throughout this interview of the Brown Leaf and different things about it, and I did notice that the Badger and Blade limited edition pipe for this year is almost here. And how much work goes into not only coordinating getting one of those pipes built, but just the entire process? Because to me, it seems quite daunting.
Well, you can say that. I'm sure Jay Argonaut would definitely be able to back you up. He's the one who's coordinating this year's pipe. This is actually our 5th LE pipe. We ran into a small little holdup. Paul Hubbard, who's the artisan who's doing this year's pipe, he's in England actually. He's rehabbing an injury, so it's taken a little bit longer than we kind of anticipated, but it's definitely gonna be worth the wait when it gets here. It's an awful lot of it. The thing about it is it's a collaboration. The B&B member who's coordinating it, again, this year is Jason. He kind of comes up with an idea and then works with the artisan, the guy who's going to actually translate that into a smokable piece of art, and they go back and forth and eventually come up with the perfect design. And what makes it so special, obviously it's just like any other limited edition. It's a limited edition. It's something that not anyone can just go in and buy. You got one shot to get it, and only so many people have it. This year, I think we got 15 or 16 of them. I think that the high water mark was we had 28. I think the very first year. But it's a B&B limited edition. So it's a collector's item, and a lot of guys. There are several of us who were lucky enough to be around in 2012 when we started this, and so we've got the full collection. Some guys have better collections than others, I'll say, of course. But it's a neat B&B collector's item.
Well, that's really
a great pipe.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, as the members are seeing on the pictures. But, to piggyback on that, not being a pipe smoker myself, and I'm sure that this may be going through some of the minds of some of the members listening. When I've smoked cigars, I smoke cigarettes, and do you find with pipe smoking that you actually get the nuances of the flavors more than you would through any other method, like cigars and stuff like that, as far as the different fruits, the woods, the liquors and stuff that go into making the tobacco?
Oh, sure. Well, definitely more than, cigarettes is, I don't want to be judgmental, but cigarettes are kind of like smoking dirt, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. Cigars are great, but they're sort of limited. There's a much bigger range of flavors and like you said, nuances in the tobacco that you can experience with the pipe. it's a different experience. There's a different skill set to it. You know, there's a different, like, smoking a pipe forces you to slow down and take things easy, and it's such a relaxing experience, and you get to sort of savor the little subtleties in the tobacco, and you know, of course I'm a pipe smoker, so to me it's the best way to enjoy fine tobacco.
Now, I've heard it said in various places that smoking a pipe is very similar to somebody who is a wine connoisseur. In other words, you take the smoke in, you actually let it float around your mouth, and that's what really allows you to experience it. Would that be a fair statement?
Absolutely. You'll see a lot of wine connoisseurs or say whiskey connoisseurs is the same way, have like a sort of a tasting journal to kind of mark down so they recognize the different flavors and subtleties in the alcohol, and pipe tobacco is the same way. You sort of experience things in much the same way. It's a slow process, kind of methodical, contemplative, if you will. Very similar to wine tasting, I guess.
Well, and I think that in itself would take members who have maybe never have smoked a pipe before and spark some interest in the fact that, you know, that because I think most people think, you know, with smoking, whether it be a cigar or a cigarette, obviously a cigarette being the worst. I'm one of the first ones to admit that. But even with a cigar, because you hear stories about people saying, oh, yeah, I remember my granddad used to smell a cigar and we'd force him to go outside. But what's funny is you've never heard anything negative like that for pipes for the most part. You know, in fact, most people will say, oh, yeah, he smokes a pipe and I love to be next to him and just smell all that wonderful aroma coming out. So I agree with you. I think that, you know, pipe smoking is almost in its own little category as opposed to cigar and cigarette smoking, where it, you know, as much as I hate to say this, it's not quite as offensive to the non-smoking groups.
Sure. The aroma of pipe tobacco is it's generally a pleasant to a non-smoker who's it sort of reminds people of grandpa, or just there's just a nice woody, alcohol-y smell to it. It's you know, hey, there's shave soaps that are pipe tobacco scented. You know, there's room scented candles that are pipe tobacco scented. It's a scent that I think people in general, you know, not everyone, but I think people in general sort of enjoy that smell. You know, my wife is an inveterate non-smoker, but she absolutely loves the smell of pipe tobacco, so it works out really well for me. But I think a lot of people feel that way. They don't mind the smell of pipe tobacco at all. In fact, I think most people enjoy it.
Well, and, you know, and being a smoker myself, and hopefully I don't upset the cigarette smokers here on the forum, but I look at cigarettes as a habit, obviously, and I look at cigars as a choice. I look at pipes as a choice, and that's not to say that all smokers are not. Obviously, well, we've been spending a lot of time talking about pipes, but you know, for those of you that are cigar smokers, there's a lot of amazing information, and also some of the new things that are happening, because vapors are new. And what would you, because that seems to be going to the newer generation. A lot of people are vaping and so forth and so on. And we also have a section on vaping as well.
Well, we do. We have a whole subforum for vapors. Till Professor Moriarty is actually he's kind of like the mentor for all of the vapors. I think a lot of people that I don't vape myself. I'm not terribly familiar with it, but I think a lot of people who enjoy vaping do it as a way to sort of get away from smoking cigarettes. But we do have a sub forum, the vapors in the brownleaf, and so if you're not you're not a pipe smoker, you're not a cigar smoker, that may be one reason you might want to come visit the brownleaf, is that there's a whole sub forum dedicated to that.
Yeah, because that seems like, I mean, I know the flavors and everything regarding vaping because I'm not either, but my wife is, and it's just amazing some of the different things that they're coming out with. Now, do you have any, as we wrap everything up today, do you have any final thoughts or comments to the members or about Badger and Blade in general?
Well, first of all, hey, thanks for having me. Badger and Blade, my wife kind of makes fun of how much time I spend on Badger and Blade.
Like all of our wives do.
But I got to say, I am terribly proud to be a member of Badger and Blade. I think it's the best place on the internet, you know. And my wife begrudgingly accepts that. I talk about some of the things that we do, you know, the Stonewar auction and that kind of stuff. And I think she appreciates the fact that it's such a different place. So yeah, Badger and Blade is I'm thankful that such a place exists, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Anybody who's interested in fine tobacco, hey, stop by in the Brown Leaf, say hi, ask a few questions. We're more than happy to help you work your way down the rabbit hole, so to speak.
Well, on behalf of BadgerandBlade.com and B&B Radio, Price, we certainly appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday morning to spend some time and give us some education on the Brownleaf Forum. So members, as Price said, please take a jaunt down to the Brownleaf. I think you'll be very, very pleasantly surprised. Even if you're a non-smoker or a non-vapor, you can really find out a lot of neat things in the Brownleaf. So once again, Price, we'd like to certainly thank you for spending time with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks to you, Dave.
Well, that brings another episode of Badger and Blade Radio to a close. We certainly hope you enjoyed listening. And once again, we'd like to thank Price, one of the forum stewards for the Brownleaf, for taking part in our forum steward spotlight. There is also rumor that your forum steward for the video library has started a new PIF. Yes, with Halloween coming, we have the Scary Movie Night PIF. So please head on over to the video library forum to see how you can enter, and that PIF will run through October. As always, we'd like to thank the moderators and stewards for all the hard work they do each and every day, bringing content to the site and assisting all of our members. We'd like to thank the owners and administrators for making this one of the best sites on the internet. And most importantly, we want to thank you, the member. Without you, the member, we would not have BadgerandBlade.com, and you are the lifeblood of this website. I've been your host, Skyseeds, and we'll see you next time.